Welcome back to Day 6 of Game Changers Championships 2024, live from Berlin. I'm your host, Victoria, and I'm here with Kukuka and Tom for our second elimination match of the day. It's going to be another Pacific team.
You nervous?
We know what it's like, Victoria, losing 2 teams in one day.
This is karma. I was making so much fun of Tom last time, and you know what?
This is actually all Tom's doing.
Where's
world is fair.
G2 right now?
They're
in the
upper bracket?
They're comfortable where they are
They're
right
safe for
now.
now.
Safe, yes, very safe right now, tucked away in the safety. So Zeta, we had to say goodbye to Zeta, but MIBR continues on their journey. Now, for those of you who are watching and love to play Valorant, Game Changers Championships is the perfect time to join the community and find your future squad. So, no more solo queue. We don't like solo queue, it's really hard. Scan the QR codes on the screen to join the Looking for Group or LFG Discord. Or you can join the VALORANT server, or join both. The VALORANT server is exclusively for women and non-binary players, so go ahead and find your squad on either or both of these Discords. So I think we were talking about this last time. We've long since joined it, and we have a squad. I don't know. Well, Kukuka and I have a squad. I don't know about you, Tom. You can't join.
No. You've gone in, you found your SRN to carry you through your games, whereas I'm just...
Yeah.
You have Mitch.
yeah, to throw my
Mitch
games.
and his Odin. You'll be okay. All right, now we gotta talk about this upcoming match. We've got Visa Crew Blaze. This is the furthest they've ever gone. They're veterans in the GCC scene, but they never could quite break maybe around that 5th, 6th ranking. So this is maybe their time to shine, Kukuka.
Yeah, they say the 3rd time's the charm, right?
Yeah.
So probably after 3 years in a row of having Romy and Konir coming back to back, we are seeing a performance that we hadn't seen before, and who knows? We got the good omen from MIBR from South America already moving into the next step, and SRN said they like to play against crew. They know their playstyle.
I do have to point out that the last time they got eliminated, it was actually by Zipto for the, you know,
Yeah,
is that your
but I will also
should we bring in
say,
the tank?
I think this is the best crew have ever looked.
Yes.
Like the core keeping that like original strength, but then bringing in players like Dodds who have genuinely been the highlight, or one of the highlights for me of this whole tournament. I think they've looked a lot better. They've had some imaginative comps as well. Like I think about how they were playing Bind. I think they're a creative team that has flair, but also has a decent sort of structure around them, and I think they're really scary to play against.
Yeah, I think the Bezika looks too good on the server. I think the support also around Dodds is immense.
Oh, huge. They've been mentioning the addition of Dodds and how impactful that's been, and Coach Babysita as well. I think a lot of her coaching strategies and just making sure that their comms are like watertight and there's a lot of trust on the team, it really reflects in a lot of their successes. Now, we did get to have a little bit of a chit-chat. Mika Fabs got to catch up with Konir for a quick chat, so let's check that out.
Hey guys, I'm here right now with Konir of Visa Crew Blaze, and I have Jesus to help me with some translation. Now, of course, this is quite an interesting match because this has happened already before. You have faced the Sipto core already last year, and they were the ones who eliminated you from the tournament. I'm wondering why it will be a different story this time around. What do you think? Is it because of the roster? Is it because you're a more mature player this time around? What do you think?
Básicamente Konir, este matchup ya lo tuvieron el año pasado, como contra Sipto, contra el core, digamos. ¿Cómo van a hacer ustedes para que sea diferente esta vez? ¿Va a ser algo de la estrategia, de las jugadoras, del equipo? Cuéntanos un poco.
Esta vez somos un nuevo equipo y claramente vamos a ganar.
This time around, we're a different team, so clearly we're gonna win.
Very different story indeed, so we'll see what happens when Crew take on Sipto.
Oof. Well, they do have a very different core. Well, I wouldn't say a different core. They got some changes happening on their team, and I think, like you were saying, Tom, they do look like the strongest they've ever been. What do you make of their statement? Of her statement just now in the interview.
I mean, I like to see the confidence. I think that with Konir, sometimes we need to dig those kind of responses out of her. But I'm going to get the fact that she looks a little bit nervous. Like she wants to look confident, but she's more nervous, of course, because she doesn't want to go home. So she says, you know, a different team, we're going to win this time around. If that will be enough.
Yeah, I think they've had that sort of like depth of experience now that they're only going to get better and better in these late round stages. Just hope that we don't see the pressure get to them later on.
Yeah. Oh, you guys are. Is that what you glean from her interview? Like it's just a facade.
No, it's actually her personality. She really is like that.
Okay. Well, there is one team that tends to be very confident, and that is Zipto. So ahead of the tournament, Kukuka, you got to spend some time with the Zipto squad for a quick game to find out how well they really know each other.
Absolutely love them.
They're hilarious. Let's check it out.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Spill the Tea, a new segment that we have here in VCT Game Changers. I'm joined by the Chipter girls. We're very happy to have you back. Thank you very much for joining us today. And we're going to be playing a little game. So Tara, today it's about the secrets. It's about how well you know your team, even when you don't know things, you know? It's about relating to your teammates. So very easily, I'm going to give you 4 statements. And they're going to be secrets that your teammates have submitted and have confessed to us. And you very easily have to relate and guess which secrets belongs to whom. Easy for everybody? Okay, so let's go in with the first statement. Someone saved a rat from drowning. That is very heroic. Any guesses?
I don't know, maybe Alexi because she likes animals.
Okay, maybe. I see some reactions here. Wants to go bald because she wants to know her head shape. That is actually such a good Roman Empire. I can so relate to you.
Oh my god.
What do you think, Tara?
Shirazi, maybe.
Okay, I mean, I like her hair now. Don't do dirty. Okay, changes her mouse sensitivity or tries a new one before tournaments. This one maybe you can relate easier. You can you have an idea, right? Okay.
I think this one should be Camille because last time during bootcamp she changed her mouse right before the tournament. So
Okay, okay, liking that. Used to be a debate thesis defender during her senior high school year. I am so thrilled. I so want to know which one's which. Okay, so now that we have the 4 statements, this is going to be very simple. You have your teammates. I want you to place them under the statements that you think belong to them. If you want to change things around, please do so, but please go ahead and give us some reasons as to why do you think.
Okay. I will put
Okay. Camille,
here.
yes. To change the sensitivity, okay, she's sticking with that one. What are you doing with Shirazi?
I think.
You can also change it around after you have them all.
Are you sure?
You want my hair now.
Okay, I think you come here.
Okay. She can be the hero, yes, why not?
Okay.
Okay,
you
and Eri.
come.
Sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Have you seen the picture? Have you seen the picture of Alexi
That
bold?
leaves Alexi to be the deep. I mean, I can see that. If this is true, I can see you in this position. But Tara, without further ado, let's see how close you were to the truth. Can we please get the reveal? You got almost everything right, and she did want to go bold to know.
I got it myself.
But that's so good. She wanted to trick you. She actually wanted you not to win. It doesn't matter because what matters is what happens in the server. I think that you did brilliantly. Alexi, I want to debate with you. We definitely will bring you on the desk to see how good you are. Thank you very much and best of luck in your first match.
Thank you.
Thank you. I love that segment, and Tara got most of them right. I definitely got some of them wrong. Did you have fun doing
I
that?
had a lot of fun because I've been wanting to do that segment for a very long time, so I'm very happy that we got to do it. Also, is anyone, after the couple of days that we've had of Shipto, does anybody have a doubt that it was Alexi who was debating, who was on the debate club?
It was almost so obvious. I was like, no, it can't be her, because it almost seemed like the obvious answer, but it makes so much sense.
I also wanted to go board to see what my head shape would look like.
Yeah? How
Happy with the
you...
results? So happy that
It never
you
went back.
You're like, this is good.
Yeah,
The shape
perfect.
is great.
Can't get better.
Now, you know, I talked a bit about Kinnear earlier. Alexi, I picked her as my MVP of this tournament, and she's been absolutely goated. And I want to talk about her later. But today, we've also got a duelist matchup between her favorite duo, Inari, and Dodds. Now, these two duelists have been very interesting. Dodds especially has been absolutely on fire.
Yeah, exactly. I think both of them, respectively, right, with the different responsibilities that they've had, we'd see that Dodds is just like the single duelist. But when we think about Ineri and the way that she matches up with the rest of the team and with Alexi when they're playing on that double duelist is on a different layer. But this kind of plays is a constant that we should expect for today. The same way that on that first match we didn't see a single Neon, I expect a lot of Neon for the second one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really exciting. And I think as well the fact that I kind of look at Ineri as maybe a little bit more self-sufficient. Like Dodds is being pushed into these scenarios by the team with lots of supportive utility. But you can see like these are the statistics for, you can see the number next to them, where they are in the entirety of the tournament. Obviously they don't have to compete.
Neons.
Yeah, on the Neon. They don't have to compete with SRN because SRN doesn't play Neon. So maybe we would move each of them down one if that was the case. But yeah, I think Dodds has been right up there. Super impressive performances. And I think that's something Xipto are going to have to consider today. Can they silence Dodds? Because I think G2 did manage to do that at least on one map or two.
KNX didn't.
No. And
Well-
no one else did.
Yes, yesterday, Xipto, it was a 2-0 against Xipto. But there were some really interesting rounds, Kukuka, that you wanted to bring us through.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that double duelist because I think it fits their playstyle a lot, being very explosive, very fast. And also we need to talk about the pistols that they were getting yesterday. Having this double duelist, the moment that you get the first kill, playing from within sight is extremely complicated because the pace gets extremely elevated. And in this position, Noya doesn't have a lot to do because she gets swamped, not with utility, but with the players running across you. You have Alexi on the Jet, and then Ineri on the Neon, just running onto you, and then using all that utility. The rest of the round, even though this goes onto a retake, and Mel almost clutches this up, it's already a very complicated asset if you think about the Harbor utility and how well you can time it. Again, I think that yesterday, it's the gun rounds that I'm more worried about, but knowing your strength and what you can do in this pistols round, having those good starts of the halves should be something that Ship2 can be relying on.
Yes, I mean, this is something that they're definitely going to lean on. KRU has probably made very similar observations with their coaching staff there. Really quick predictions on this one. Is it going to be, who's it going to be? We showed it earlier, but I don't know if you feel any differently now.
My heart's completely split, but I'm going to say KRU. I'm going to say KRU, yeah. In my predictions, I said Ship2, but, you know, now I'm with South America.
That's okay.
I was there all along.
Flip-flop.
I'm going to be honest. I was sticking
rare?
with
You remember
Visa Crew Blaze. I definitely know what you're referencing. I think that Dodds has been an absolute standout, but I think like Romy, for example, has had a great tournament.
Yeah.
I think the calling as well has been fantastic from the LATAM team, so I'm going to be sticking with my prediction. I don't change.
All right, sticking to your guns. I think that's a very fair pick here. Obviously, I'm gonna stick with Xipto, but can really go both ways. Are you shocked? I even wore my little like Pacific pin here. But you know what? Our teams are ready to go. The last of their regions. Let's send it down to the stage and welcome Visa Crew Blaze and Xipto. A clash of regional titans. It's Xipto Esports, the APAC powerhouse, versus Visa Crew Blaze, the fiery LATAM org. And here, their dreams of glory are hanging in a balance. Here we're going to our map picks, split and bind, completely veto off the get-go. We're going to start with Haven.
Oh, we're going to start with Haven, but I think that everybody's eyes have to go to Abyss.
Yes.
We're mentioning in the pre-show that we've only had one so far, and we're going to get the second one, Tom.
Yeah, it's one as well where there really isn't any data or any information about what's been played on the other side. It was a loss for the side of Zipto, so it's definitely a surprise factor. I'd say KRU coming in with a Haven pick, you beat G2 on a map, you pick the map again. It's no surprises that they're going straight in for that one.
I have to remark about Abyss. This is crazy. The last time they played Abyss was in the final 2 days of APAC, and they looked horrible on it. They said,
"Oh God,
the troll pick." They mentioned it. The coach picked it just to test the waters out. They weren't even prepared. So for them to pick this map, that's insane.
Yeah, and G2 ended up winning that match, that map,
Yeah.
but it was extremely close. They had to perform a comeback again. I think that in Haven, anything can happen. I see it pretty like evened out. I understand the pick, but it is that Abyss that has the question. And one of the topics that we were talking about is coming into the tournament and having something prepared, have that ace up your sleeve.
Yeah, I want to go back to that first map though. I think the one thing I'm going to be looking at for Zipto, firstly, they've always had very aggressive defensive sides. So I wonder, are they going to change up their comp again and bring in the Neon? Because I think it's really working on that map at the moment. Regionally, they stuck towards the Jet, but also how do you silence Dodds? Because Dodds managed it. They are going to pull out the Neon, so the comp is switching up to sort of support the meta. I definitely don't mind this at all. But yeah, Dodds versus G2, 28 and 10. This was the map where she just was running all around the show and just destroying her opposition. If they can't shut her down, that will happen again. Sometimes a little bit more difficult on the defense, but definitely still viable on this map in particular.
Tweaking everything around, but again, I think that there's a lot of potential, especially on the defense. I want to see how they do on that half. Alexi has had an amazing peak rate with the operator and the snipers in general, so she's going to have a lot of power just locking down those sides. But thinking of the attack in this first half, we want to see, and we mention it all the time, that synergy between Ineri, between Camille, between Alexi, to actually get the pace started.
Yeah, I hope that synergy really comes into play. I mean, no bias or anything. But this is going to be a really spicy matchup between these two. We've seen great performances coming from both sides. And I know you guys have already made your predictions, but what's your prediction for this map?
I'm still going with Visa Crew Blaze, especially if I think they're winning the series. I think this is an important one for them to take.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Tom.
All right, fair enough. Well, both teams are vets in this GCC event, but this is it, the last of the regional representation. It's going to be Zipto or Visa Crew Blaze. Let's send it over to our casters, Mimi and Ender.
Thanks very much, Victoria. This is a big one. For KRU, a win here is their best placement ever at a GCC. And for Zipto, you normally that hype?
Nope. Let's carry on.
For Zipto, though, this would be a repeat of last year if they can win today. Another match against a Brazilian team in the last lower round before that lower final.
Yeah, big elimination match coming up right here. Of course, Zipto just watched the other Pacific representative in Zeta fall here. We don't want to see a day where two teams from Pacific are taken out of it. So, on to Haven to start things off. KRU do have a few players over on towards C, ready for this push.
A new confident Neri is instantly gone from this round, and the rest of Zipto was nowhere near the Neon. They'll be forced to retreat.
Yeah, that A side is very weak right now. Just camera watching on B as well, but losing your Duelist right off the bat, definitely not a great look for Zip. It'll just be Romy playing up in heaven right in here, getting full audio cues to call in the rest of KRU to rotate in.
She does have one kill trip.
Cage triggered.
Cage goes up. Does anyone walk into that tripwire? No, Alexi will deal with it, but Romy has found Tara, and someone still fell into the trip. Romy somehow doubles up. There's spam coming in through the smoke, and KRU is already back in for their retake.
Yeah, gorgeous first round out of KRU right there. Starting it off with Bia over in the corner on C to get that kill, and then Romy finding a few up there from top A. So often when you're playing up against these Cypher comps on attack, it's an exercise in patience, right? Can you slowly scale into a site, especially on A, and break all those trips? And Zipto did not pass that test this time around.
The spacing on that initial CX did seem a little off. A lot of the time, you're going to be kind of sacrificing the Neon. They either get their picks or they die and no one can trade. But in that round, no one even really had utility out ready to support there. I think a little bit miscoordinated from Zipto.
Yeah, I think the hard thing when you've got like a Neon with a Sova is you're not really using the Sova drone to get into a site. Because Neon's going in first, so can oftentimes get caught out on those close angles. See what Zip are going to do here on this round, though, going very quickly into the B site. KRU have actually switched up their Cypher setup, too, to have another deep trip to play kills on if Zip keep trying to push forward.
And they'll get the plant down. That's already a bit of a win for Zipto on this eco. But the forces from Visa Crew Blaze have arrived for this retake.
Keep your eye on Garage, though, because that's where Zip are going to look for this late round pinch. Camera spotted the one, maybe two players, and Romi's still hanging out up here in window. No one's going to clear for that one. That's an easy kill.
Yeah, Romy very thorough. But Tamuto went in. KRU is yet to really get
Hold on,
work
it's
done
half.
on this defuse. They've
Wait,
got
they're
this one
sticking!
half now, and no one's stopping
Hello?
them. Okay. I mean, it was just the classics trying to spam through, but still, surely someone should have been putting their body on the line to deny that one.
Yeah, playing really far off that B side. I would have liked to see Zip get a little bit closer up on that. Maybe have a body they could throw into the mix, but all things considered, they're going to have a bye going into this next round.
Careful there. Right there.
Was all's well that ends well. Did a little eco damage. Visa Crew Blaze are not going to have great weaponry for this bonus round, but there was a real chance they could have won that last one.
Gotta go.
I like the idea here from KRU to seize some mid-space very early on. We'll see how Zip react to it. Actually, as I said, seize the mid-space. They're just setting up a full trap on that area. Didn't spot that Dodds has the shotgun, so we'll just be looking to quickly rotate over between A if Zip end up accelerating on that side of the map.
Ooh, double swing out from mid. It's actually an opener on this eco round for Visa
Now
Crew
they're
Blaze.
walking into the shotgun. The drone is a nice little bait, too, sending that down onto long. There's only two players from Zip to try and deal with this person.
Early, someone checks on Dodds. Close corner, first Bucky shot misses. A second player, suck around the corner, slide in, and Tara won't let that one get any further out of hand.
All right, decent damage control from Tara. Equalizing in a 3-on-3 now, but it's all about controlling this choke. We've got a stun ready from Kamiyu. That's going to make it almost impossible for KRU to get out here.
Paranoia off contact as well for Tara.
Ouch.
Oh, Kinnear's just gotten a stunning shot to start this round. Trade is there. Diving out from heaven. Romy goes down, and now in the clutch. Mika trying to isolate one of these fights, but nothing being given by Zipta.
Yeah, another round where it seemed like the team coming in at a disadvantage narrowly had a chance. That shotgun down in sewers was nearly going to do some serious work. That said, I think some good scaling from Tara. Showing up already here in these first few rounds. It's that second entrance into the site. Find a couple of critical kills here. Even there, it's like right after coming out of the stun.
Yeah.
He's able to find that initial headshot.
Really nice stuff from them.
And the giggle's already starting. It's a different look than the screaming relentlessly.
And interestingly, a timeout going in this early. Round 4, it's very
That
unusual. Before you even see a rifle round to call that timeout, what do you think could be going on here?
I wonder what the tell is. I mean, I think it's pretty reasonable that Zip might have expected a few more players towards the B or C side. I think they've actually seen that both in the pistol round and also there in round number 3. So maybe having some ideas to either punish A more aggressively, or if I'm looking at sort of their setup in this round, the other thing could be, because they lost that player on the fast lurk in mid, getting Shirazi to slow down on the lurks or to bring multiple players in there to see if KRU are overstepping, because if Visa Crew Blaze are overstepping into mid, Zip can set up a few little trap plays off of it. I think that's one of the benefits of having the Cypher, is those cams in mid to spot out defender-sided aggression.
Yeah, combine that with any other PC utility can also set up some pretty nasty trap plays there as well.
The nastiest.
The nastiest. Zipta, though, I also do wonder if maybe it's because they haven't played this map in a bit. Last time was in the final against Zeta in their regional qualifier, but he's still ironing out some of the kinks here at GCC.
Yeah, that was a very different comp. That was your bread and butter jet in that slot for an Airy. We'll see what we've got this time around. Visa Crew Blaze ready to fight 4 players over into A. Once again, Dodds has a shotgun, but Zipper speeding up into B.
This spike site will be taken for free, but the real question of this round is going to be the reflank from Visa Crew Blaze. 4 players working up. Shirazi has heard it all. How much can she get? Nothing! Dodds slides right into her face.
Watch though, Romy again finding another catch. That is perfect. The solo player winning out on Visa Crew's side.
They wanted to hunt Romy. She gets away for now. Dodds in the sight, slides back in, and you barely get to see her on your screen before Dodds just takes players out of this round. That's 3. That's the retake. What a swift round to win for KRU.
Just flawless. Visa Crew Blaze, I mean, really just the Dodge show again. finding that big pick into spawn. Because really, I think this was a round where it was the two ciphers. What are they going to be able to do? Is Shirazi going to be able to cut off that flank coming in? Is Romy going to be able to stay alive against that A-Link push? Well, it all went the way of VALORANT, and that's just about as good as you can have, especially for building up the future rounds, losing almost, 0 guns and losing very little armor too.
Zipto are going to open this round towards A, but not full commit off it this time.
Revealing area.
Actually, VALORANT showing so much down into C long. Check that out. Dod's all the way up there with a stun, breaking some Cypher util.
Setup. A stun as well. VALORANT Blaze, maybe an opportunity here. They see the Neon and they take her out of this one. Still, the trade was good from Alexi, but Kinnear is actually going to stick around here, play close on this cage.
And they're not going to be expecting the double trips on this site too. Zip2 might go a little bit too quickly, especially with the reposition here. Kinnear playing in backside, teaming up with her friend. And Zipto can't really go anywhere. Romy does some good work on that site, but it's all down into a 2-on-2.
That's excellent from KRU. Planted. And she's going to go for more here, a fight towards spawn, but that is not where this retake is coming from. Instead, 2 players working all the way through on a flank. A smoke will go up. Tara holds close, no teammate to swing off her. It's really all up to the newest player of Zipto, and she cannot get that job done. Tap on the spike, KRU swings out and not able to adjust the shots in time.
VALORANT Blaze, nice reaction in that round. I think a different setup from them coming in. We're able to get enough kills with that, confusing Cypher layer there that Zip2 weren't expecting. But then really it's that push through that works out so nicely for them because Mika still has full utility on the breach. All she had used was the stun at the very start of the round, and that had come back up, so that 2-on-2 went really nicely for them.
It's interesting because when you watch these two teams come to their first GCCs in 2022 and 2023 respectively, I think you saw them as teams who were still finding their style, were very much around the individual brilliance, going for star plays, but I think they've developed in very different ways. This has been a crew who has found a much more structured style, has had a new IGL, inject a lot more discipline into the team, where Zipto has kind of become the classic aim-heavy, fragging out, wild APAC team.
We even heard from Kinnear in interviews say that, yeah, she thinks crew has gotten a lot more structured. Thinks that's an advantage coming into today's game.
And that's the difference from when these two teams matched up in this very same position last year.
Yeah, that was with crew and Team SMG. 3 players of that crew roster still around, 4 of Zipto. And actually, it's Zipto getting the first kill here on a half-buy.
Yeah, they'll be able to pick that gun up.
I know exactly.
VALORANT, 3 clear mid. Nice little triple swing that catch an area off.
Yeah, and unfortunately, even though they see 3 players over on B, actually, I like this choice from Tara, ulting into the site, recognizing that it's going to be open. 2 players going up towards heaven, so there's no chance for a fast flood.
Zipto will tap the spike. Util going in, Hunter's Fury. Can they get it done? Rolling Thunder as well, fighting back the other way. And it's a stalemate. In the chaos, though. Crew has picked off 1 member, and Tara's still in a bit of trouble in this close corner.
Keep watching for Tara. The drone was broken. Good sound cues to bait that one out.
Shock Dart, though. Only 25 health. The second one won't finish the job. The crew is patient here. This is the new crew that takes their time and takes their rounds because of it. 5-1, a complicated situation, but VALORANT Blaze, they navigate it well.
Yeah, and that's a tough spot for Zipto to be in because they chose to respond with the Rolling Thunder. They got that opening pick in the round. They thought they might have a chance, but then you use Omen ult and Breach ult. Yeah, you get the Biazak ult on the opposite side, but that's a lot to spend for a round loss.
And now we look towards the future, and they're only going to have 1 power ult online for the next couple. There's a real chance for VALORANT to continue to snowball this momentum.
So far, Zipto, they've seen a lot of early round aggression from crew. We've seen A main pushes, we've seen mid pushes, we've seen C long. I think what they're going to be trying to do is spot that out a little bit more and keep reacting away from those early stacks.
We've also seen crew excel at the retakes. All 5 of their round wins thus far have come off the defuse.
Yeah, so camera was broken out in mid. Odds is going so far up, though. It's really just 1 player watching this, but Shirazi about as good as you can ask for. Gets out with 2 cages popped. And we'll see how well the contain goes, because there's still a Tara you've got to get past if KRU want to keep on pushing.
And Biazic is actually fighting forward, stun up. Not quite able to convert onto the second. 1 for 1. Maybe not good enough here.
Such a weird round. Right now, Mikhaila wants to get into the site, but at the same time, this flank is working out. Right, Romy finds that kill with the help of Kinnear. That's going to be a hat down, and 3 players now spotted out.
Romy doesn't even have to activate this flank very quickly. Just providing so much pressure. Zipto's gonna fight into CT spawn because of it. They've already gotten one, and Inari is ready to heat it up. Stun goes through, she'll push even deeper, but not looking up towards heaven. Mikhaila's taken her away from this one, so it's a 2v2. Romy is still a ways away, and Shirazi is wrapping around too, but the opportunity maybe squandered. 30 health, 1v2, but the time's just not there anymore. And Zipto finally managed to bounce back here and get a second round on the board.
That's the second or third time now Zip have looked for that spawn push, and this time it works out beautifully for them. It's really interesting watching the way these team styles are developing, even in this first half, because VisaCrew Blaze have gone for all of these different flank plays. Off of the early aggression, if they lose a player, they're going to keep pushing after you. That worked for them in this round, even though they lost it. Dodds initially, they kept going, were able to get a trade out on the opposite side. But at the same time, Zip2 are recognizing this and calling for those spawn pushes, where you can see that actually that's the weak area of the map, and punish it pretty massively.
And I think that is the strength for Zipto, finding kind of that play in the mid-round. They're really good at the fundamentals, playing off each other, getting aggressive, and kind of catching their opponents off guard here.
This time, big fight. Look at the stuns, just absolutely insane. Dodds wins the fight, even against the headshot. KRU still trying to fight her way out of that, but VisaCrew Blaze are on a tear. Shirazi has a couple, and now actually it's Bia stuck in the corner, blinded up, trying to time it out. She takes down Tara, and she gets Shirazi. Are you joking?
Okay, Biazic. A massive round out of her. And that one, as it often is with these neon mirror matchups, completely defined by that A lobby fight.
Wow, this was crazy. Because look, gets dinked down to 140. Phantom moment, unfortunately, for Inari. And that's a heartbreaker too, because even then, you had the advantage. And then the pushes through smoke, just a little bit discoordinated. And Biazic's the player that's going to punish that.
Now it's KRU's rifle, or Zipto's rifle round, rather, that is now reset back down to an eco here.
It's annoying too, because Zipto, I think, had done a really good job of avoiding that early aggression.
Sure.
But this is the time it runs into a full 5v4.
Slightly different look. This time a walk up through A lobby. Dodd swings in, and it's 1 for 1, very quick trade.
There.
I would have felt really bad for Neri if that had been a 145 shot after the last round.
There is a gun down now in A lobby.
Yeah, and it's really hard for VisaCrew to overfight for that area because they'd only put 2 players there initially. So
is
now
it a miss to not prioritize that gun?
Well, it's hard to say because Zip2 have really only seen 2 or 3 players around Dodds. So you're expecting a lot more on that side, and probably expecting this exact situation where it's just the Cypher holding on C.
The thing is now you're gambling that the Classics can get this job done, and well, that question, the answer might just be no, because Romy's already taken 2 away from this site, and she's gonna keep diving in for a little bit more. KRU, utility in hand. They'll both duck in the smoke. They util. The reinforcements have arrived for VisaCrew Blaze, and well, they'll just cut Zipto down to size. It's now 7-2 on defense.
Wow. This is such a good start for VisaCrew. I mean, Dodds and Romy both sitting on 11 kills already. Having a great time of things. And even in the little things, like solid trading coming through in that A lobby fight, I think that retake, Romy deciding to push back in front of the smoke, call in the rest of the team. They weren't going to leave her out on an island. They're always bringing in more and more players to support the front person, you know?
Another aggressive piece off the rip for VisaCrew. Slide down long. The Neon committed again. No one can see a damn thing. And you want to be looking when Dodds is having a round like this. This time, it's only 1 though.
And VisaCrew aren't going to overfight that. They really just left Dodd their own devices there. This will be the fight that means everything, but Biazic wins that?
Okay.
That was the way.
Back rounds for Biazic.
Yeah, I mean, if Shirazi can win that, that opens up the map completely. Now they're locked into this C-Hay.
And guess who's here? Mikhaila. Rolling Thunder. She spotted out too. And she'll rip that ult, fights off it. Hunter's Fury going in. Somehow, Alexi finds that kill. I don't know where. She managed to have the vision to connect that one. But it's now given an opportunity to Zipto, a post plant on C.
Yeah, they're going to want to play off on long. There's no smokes for crew. There's one cage on Romy. That's the big one. But Alexi can use shocks and the ult to wait out that duration.
Biazik has some shocks of her own, and both these players are very low. Tara gonna tank a lot of damage there. A second one coming in. Won't find the connection. One way. A drone. Time ticking, but Visa crew want to go forward.
They have to hunt.
They'll fight down long. Tara on 1 HP. She's gone. The second player not swinging. Alexi waits, and now it's a 1v1 for the rounds, which Romy wins. Another retake for Visa Crew Blaze.
These aren't easy rounds, but crew are just making all the right decisions, it seems. Recognizing to go for that push down into long. And then with the clock working against them, Romy saying, no, I've got that. Go get on the spike. I'll win it out myself. Don't forget that Bia, while she gets 3 kills in the round, also started it off by finding that pick into mid. That made things so much simpler for crew.
I think suffice it to say, this has come upon the last chance for Zipto in this half.
Yeah.
They've put all their money into this round. They have 2 key ults to work with.
We'll see how much they use on the C hit, because right now, Romy's playing pretty much off-site. If Zipto can get away with not wasting all their ults, their post-plant's going to be gnarly.
They do, but look how quickly Crew is reaggressing. Dot has already slid back into the site, but gets lost within her own smoke and only goes 1 for 1. Tara's come back on top for Zipto, and they've taken control of backside.
Visa crew, they're slowing down because right now Biazik is on this big flank, but there's a trip to find her out. She is completely known as she's running into 2 players.
KRU fights through Garage. The reactions from Zipto, always perfection, and they've cut this flank down to the only member and closed out the round. Very good work by Zipto to get back on the board.
Yeah. Bit scary for a moment there on site, but every time Zipto have called for these spawn pushes, they're working so nicely. This time, after they get the initial kills, backside C, they see that flank coming in and again say, hey, let's fight into C-Link. That's what's been working for them consistently on the A posts, now on the C posts too. I don't think crew are going to want to give up the site so easily in the future.
Zipto only had to use 1 ult that round. It was a big one, but they still have the Hunter's Fury as a tool in the post plant, and it looks like they will again get a fairly uncontested spike plant. That is if they ever wanted to go B. They didn't! Instead, they're running all the way around the world. They've taken out Romy, and they've invited themselves to C.
What a call from Zipto. There's 4 players now coming on the flank. Absolute insanity through the spawn.
Alexi on an off angle here. Kinnear spots out the first. Does she suspect the second? No way she does. Does damage regardless. And Biazik baited. She waited.
Waited spawn. KRU ready for that garage push. On the other side of the map, Zipto are winning there too. Crew just getting a little bit all over the map, and Zipto have found such strong answers into these post plants.
It's been the same key to success for Zipto in all these posts. Find where that flank is coming from. Take your forward fight on the weak side, and it has been very effective. They've at least given themselves a chance with 4.
Yeah, it's still so close at the end of the day. They would have wanted a whole lot more, but at the end of it all, honestly, Zipto get a little bit of momentum here at the end of the half. There's still a lot more left to play for.
Yeah, it looks like we might have a bit more of a game than it initially looked, but all that is going to have to come down to this second half, which will be coming just around the corner after we check in with Mika Fabs, who is standing by with some special guests. It's some co-streamers live here at the Riot Games Arena. Let's listen in.
With Starwraith and with Mixwell here at their watch party. It's quite cool here. You guys have been watch partying the whole day, right? What's your reaction to the first series? I'm curious.
To the first series, what can I say? It was a real stomp. And I suffered a lot, you know. We went to the offices of Zeta Division while we were in Japan, and we really suffered the fucking match. What can I say?
Oh, you know what? Fist bump for that. Fist bump for that one. But these elimination matches, they really bring out the best of the teams. And you would know something about that, all of that pressure, right, Mixwell?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. These matches are really hard because if you lose, you go home. I'm sad also for Zeta Division, but I'm also happy because they joined the club for the second time. The first time it was for the VCD team, now it's for the Game Changers team. So welcome back, Zeta Division, to the club, and I appreciate you guys.
The club is growing.
Yes. Let's go.
And Sandra, what does it mean? Because KRU has been here 3 years in a row. What does this mean for the representation?
Yeah, I'm really happy for KRU, but I'm from Giant Tech, so they leave us from the tournament. So, well, 50-50.
50-50. Well, how do you think this map is going to go? I want to get everybody's opinions here.
This map?
Yeah.
This is going to be another stomp, but from KRU this time.
Yeah.
Vamos, KRU!
Oh my gosh, I'm just realized I'm the only APAC here. Mixwell?
I think it's gonna be KRU's gonna win this. They won against G2, and I think it's their best map. So they have. I think that Chipto has no chance in this one, but I think Chipto will win next one, and it's gonna be 2-1 for KRU in the end.
Map 3.
Yeah.
Map 3 is what you're saying, Sandra?
I say 2-1 for Chipto, but I'm not pretty sure. KRU is now stomping in the defense, so I don't know in the attack.
Oh, spicy. You're saying
Yeah.
it could still go, it's 50-50.
No, I'm going with Chipto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I do have somebody here. I was going to say I'm going to go cry because I'm only APAC, but we're going to go back into the game and see what happens.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Mika. Hopping into this second half now, I think the big question, if Zipto is going to bounce back, comes down to Anari. She's been the hero for this team. This tournament was the icon of Team SMG's run last year. And thus far, 5-11. Defense on Neon, though, I think is her time to shine.
Yeah, so far it's been the Cameo show, but it's hard to get frags on defense on Breach. More players gonna have to step up.
Standing ahead.
See what KRU Blaze want to do right here, though, because initially it was setting up for a C-split. This time, taking their time just a tad, working into Garage. There's not a whole lot of support here on the site for Shirazi, but Cameo will be able to stun as these players go out of Garage.
Shirazi is just perplexed by what she's witnessing, but it won't matter in the end because there's a fight back through spawn outside Garage. It goes 1-for-1, but no one's looking at Shirazi. She spent her time bird watching, but now she's stunned to 1-for-1, and it's a 3v3 to retake this site.
It's a fight for Garage, though. Bia
planted.
already found one, maybe looking for a little bit more, but she's the one spotted first, still fighting her way out of it. 1-for-1's good, but Anari is better. That's her stepping up 2 kills in the pistol, but more work to be done.
It's the Anari they needed, but Kinnear, who's been here every year, has a chance to make her mark on this round. An incredible clutch to win KRU a pistol and steal the chances away from Zipto in this second half.
Just brutal, because already you're coming in 8-4. It's not looking good, but now KRU Blaze, they're winning their second pistol in a Red Bull clutch as well. 1v2 situation. Really clean shots on the reset there too.
And she is feeling it after that round.
Yeah, we know Zipto as well as a team that likes to get energized, gets loud. Been a bit muted so far.
Haven't heard those Banshee screams just yet.
No, they haven't.
They do have a bit of a stack here on C.
Everyone's picking up the Bucky.
Okay. I mean, the Guardian basically a Bucky at that range for Dodds.
Some decent stall as Zipto calling a second player, but I think we already realized that Romi's going to be sprinting over into that A site and calling over the rotations of her teammates too.
And when we're talking about this new version of Visa KRU that's different from the one who lost to Team SMG last year, it's playing rounds like this, not just full committing into C, always having that second layer to their attack.
Yeah, I think you'd look in the past at a KRU and you'd say they sort of needed like individual players like pop off in a round, especially in the games that they were really being challenged. And I think you still obviously have that in a player like Dodds. Absolute insanity
I think
there.
you have more star power than you did on the old KRU, but you also have more structure. It really feels like an improvement across the board. It is cool also because for this org, that is known as Latin American, they come in and they pick up 2 players from Brazil. But what's so interesting to me is that they don't all come in Spanish or Portuguese. The Portuguese-speaking players from Brazil come in Portuguese. The Latin American players come in Spanish. And it's just, they understand each other.
Yeah.
And it works.
the OP language duo there, honestly.
Shout out to the romance languages.
Yeah, we love the romance languages. We can all relate to a little romance.
One enemy.
I also like, honestly, seeing like a little bit of KRU fighting into spawn. We saw so much in that first half how Zip2 were going for that, but early mid control, I mean, we are just flying on in here.
Yeah, Dodds does not care about any piece of utility in front of her.
I really like getting into that smoke, though, with the Bucky. You can see B on the opposite side, too, is also playing inside that smoke. They want Zip to overextend.
Last second, boss is over. None of the util is hitting that player with the Bucky, and she might be starting to become a big thorn in the side of Zipto. They'll try and retake another slide in, but the stun didn't connect, and Shirazi has gone massive to bring this round somewhat under control. Defusing is still a problem, though. There's a fight towards Bunny. It's only 1-for-1, and now the round falls down to Romy. Alexi sticking, the spam just not connecting, and it's coming the other way as well as Alexi holds her nerve. And in the last possible second, wins the round.
That feels worse than just straight up losing. You get the kill right after it sticks through. Absolutely brutal. That said, Zipto absolutely needed that one. It was getting a little bit dire even. The bonus too, things getting down to the wire like that, getting a little bit scrappy. Zipto need cleaner rounds than they're finding so far. Especially because what it means for them is they've got 3 Guardians and a Bulldog on the 10-5 round.
That's rough.
Don't love that.
And that's with them investing almost all the way into this round. Only one player has substantive money to spare.
Things Visa Crew are thinking about right now is Kamiyu use that stun immediately at round start in a lobby. So another 20 seconds for them to try and punish that if they want.
And Aaron's posted on a forward line down A short. And it does look like Visa Crew are trending back that direction.
Yeah, they'll have to use a drone to re-clear this area or face the wrath of an Airy.
Cam, I think, just missed her.
Oh.
But Biazik is so
Sorry,
thorough
there's no
there.
wrath. There's no wrath.
There is no wrath.
It's just B, and now because you find that kill, it forces rotates to come in. At least one player up into heaven. But Visa Crew, they actually didn't put any bodies forward into A.
They're big chillin'. Still have a minute to play with, now a player up.
And Garage is a massive gap right now. There's very little info in that apart from the camera. Makes it almost impossible to hold on to this side of the map. There was a stun that was sent in that slowed down Visa Crew for just a minute, but Zipto can't really get out onto the site with it.
It'll come fully down to the retake for Zipto.
Good position outside Garage too from Romy.
Remember, they lose this round, the money is shot. They absolutely need to make something of this. They're down a player, but they have the util to fight back in. Kamiyu trades out, Tara's gotten another, and they've made inroads towards this site, but they needed to be worrying about the player behind them, because Romy's wrapped all the way. And now Biazik darts out the player, holding on the spike, and Shirazi. Just so many angles to deal with, just holding this one. Nearly had it, finds 1 kill, but Romy's there in time to trade things out.
That's unbelievable. Shirazi almost had that if she had stuck it. But
There's
was
a
too
world.
worried about so many players swinging into her. Ends up losing it at the end. And those are the tiny little rounds where you very nearly have them. I think Canary gonna be kicking herself for not having that first kill over in A lobby. It's not been having the standout game you'd expect from her. And you can't have middling games up against a team of the caliber of Visa Crew.
They're gonna turn the pace of this round up and take space down A.
They're doing it with just sheriffs, Mimi.
Couple ults to work with. But you're really gonna need someone to step up individually.
And Crew play it slow, so they don't even use the ult on the exec themselves. They're gonna figure this out very quickly that the big flank's coming in.
Already a stun sent in as a reaction to that. And a bit of a crossfire down short here. Bait in for that Cypher. Is anyone looking at Romy?
Nope.
Shirazi doesn't check
Nope.
the discipline. She waits, bides her time, and is rewarded with 3.
Player standing.
Visa Crew Blaze. They leave no corner unchecked. Leave no opportunity. And they win a flawless round to go up to map point.
They have looked real strong, and hey, Dodd's getting a little extra active at the end there. Visa Crew Blaze going into map point now with 4 ultimates available. Absolutely insane. Great patience out of Romy on that one.
A year ago when these cores played each other, map 1 was almost a 13-0.
Yeah, Team SMG were up 11-0 at one point.
And it is so insane in a year of play how much has changed. Visa Group Blaze not just competitive with the Zipto core that it has been undefeated in APAC for pretty much as long as you could remember.
Yeah.
But turning that ship around and destroying them in this first match.
I mean, for so many people, like Zipto are sort of expected to be, you know, around the top 3 team in this event with definite chances to punch higher than that.
After last year, I think that was the expectation.
It makes sense.
Right?
It makes sense. And at the same time, Visa Crew Blaze that have been here now for their 3rd time and, you know, finished in 7th, 8th, 2 years ago here in Berlin, last year in the 5th, 6th slot. They're a team that is good, but you wouldn't have necessarily expected them to be coming out here and delivering a beating like this to Zip.
They win this series, though. It's an improvement, 1 place every year. Give them a
That's
couple
true.
more, they'll win the championship.
Yeah, guaranteed top 4 with a win right here.
So a timeout for Zipto. Really quite a long ways since that first timeout on round 3.
I mean, honestly, Zipto, the thing that's been going the worst for them has been their lack of mid control, right? Crew have stepped into that space a lot and especially have just broken into Garage virtually for free. I like that Zip2 have 3 players, 4 players sort of around that mid towards C side. Just trying to feint a little bit more aggro with just an Airy over into long.
Hunter's Fury.
Oh, that's a good one.
2 tags. Can Alexi find a kill? No, not quite.
That's all right. We'll take the damage here, even if it doesn't just win the round for you straight up. Only 2 defenders for Zip, and they're going to have to play off of the site. They recognize Bleach ult on the opposite side. So the idea is to get quickly back onto that site after the ult is used. But just like last round, Crew don't snap that just off of nothing. They take what they can get.
And there are now so many tools to stall Zipto out. I mean, a Rolling Thunder, Shock Darts, everything you could dream of for Visa Crew, and there's no flank coming. The entirety of this retake has to come back in this instant, and Ari will dive out. The ult popped, trying to make something of this round for Zipto. Already finding one to slide in for a little more, but Crew trades back. Biazik alone, and finally, Zipto make it work on the retake.
Kamiyu delivering the finishing blow there too. She's had a game, so 2 kills in a round like that to close it out. Keep Zipto in this one. But it's not an easy road forward whatsoever. I think Crew might have boxed themselves into that post plant a little bit too much. You can see this Heaven player, they're not stunned up at all, right? Because Mikaela went into that hell spot for the ultimate, and she played on default or something like this. Might have been able to stun out into Heaven, but Breach is you're so autopiloted to just playing into that hell spot because your stun is crazy from there.
Zipto, gonna go for a fight into A lobby. We've seen this duel when the sides were swapped, but instead it's an Airy tucked into the corner, embedded. God's walking straight into this one. Alexi opens it up, and actually an Airy's gonna go double dip.
How about that?
Rewarded for it.
That's a good start. Now, consecutive rounds aren't gonna get any easier. Visa Crew Blaze have enough money to buy for at least a few more. That said, though, not too bad to kick things off. I'm still concerned about Zip2's control over mid-space because they've been playing for kill trips on C consistently. They've got to leave bodies there, just like they have to leave them here, so there's always ways to get back into the round, and with a gorgeous high-low swing like that. I mean, you saw Mikaela going for the crouch peek as her teammate goes up strong.
Hold on, Romy. Lurking up, spotted out by 2 players. They think she's leaving, but Romy's stuck around.
And that A side is open, though. Visa Crew, they're going to get a plant down.
Yeah, so much attention bought by Romy. And they still haven't dealt with her. She'll tuck close. The second fight is one for Zipto. And this is a player advantage to that APAC squad, but this is still a difficult retake.
Yeah, they're pretty low HP. It started to slip away a bit. Mikaela has double flashes.
Paranoia and a dart for that defensive side. In the utility goes. Mikaela spotted out in the open, forced to reposition, but Kinnear, no trade for Shirazi swinging in, and it's the same case for Tara. One by one, Zipto are falling. Only 40 HP for Alexi. She'll dive in. There's a stun in her face. And Visa Crew plays. They've already made good on last year. A dominant map 1 in the rematch.
That was a crisp first game. I mean, Visa Crew, they're looking good. That was their pick. And they came out meaning all business. Absolutely gorgeous stuff, but we're not done just yet. There's more to come after the break.
Red Bull gives you wings.
So, you want to work in esports? Great. Step 1, never spell it like that. Better. Step 2, apply to the Mastercard Gamer Academy, a program created in partnership with G2 designed to give you all the tools and resources needed to help you start a career in esports. This is an education in everything, from creating content to managing a team. All from experts who will explain every aspect of running a top-tier org, prepping for a broadcast, or designing global esports events for millions of fans. Selected participants will have access to live lectures and insights you won't find anywhere else. And even the opportunity to travel to the League of Legends Mid-Season Invitational and Valorant Champions. So they're flying them out to champs? Yep. Thank you, Mastercard. So if you've ever dreamed of a life working in esports, this could be your opportunity to apply for an unforgettable experience. Can anyone apply? No, you can't apply.
And if you're wondering why I move the way I do, I just feel so good.